Hi, I'm Melanie LaForce, and I'm a certified master guide here in Washington, D.C. And I'm here at the 100th celebration, the dedication of the Lincoln Memorial.
Dr. Robert Russell Moten was an African-American director of the Tuskegee Institute, and he was a presidential advisor. Dr. Moten's words were censored that day because we're in the midst of the segregation era, and the ceremony itself was segregated. So we have Robert D. Moten, who is the great-grandson of his wife, Jennifer Hardy Moten, and their daughter, Parker Moten.
I want to welcome you to the celebration of the 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Lincoln Memorial. I'm so very honored to participate, as Lincoln Memorial holds a very special place in my heart, as I know it does in many of yours. Standing where Dr. King delivered his I Have a Dream speech in 1963, I held on to an eagle feather and a medallion that were given to me by my grandfather, as I also became the very first tribal citizen to lead the National Park Service. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to ensuring that the life and work of Abraham Lincoln is not forgotten. In his keynote address at the dedication of this memorial nearly 100 years ago, Dr. Robert Russell Moten invoked Lincoln's second inaugural address, recognizing that America had fallen short of the great emancipator's vision of a nation equality. And I quote, "With malice towards none, with charity for all, I somehow believe that all of us are going to strive on to finish the work which he so nobly began to make America an example for the world of equal justice and equal opportunity for all."
In the spirit of both President Lincoln and my Tuskegee University predecessors, I too offer my remarks. I hope these ideas will further implore all of us to reflect on the past and plan for the transformational future with malice toward none. Our yesterdays are now irreversible imperfections to be remembered but not repeated. As a nation, our todays should be brimming with the substantive policies, laws, actions, and sacrifices needed to make us whole. Let us do as Lincoln suggested and elevate the condition of all people, whether in Ukraine, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, or the Americas, and afford to all an unfeathered start and a fair chance in this race of life. You deserve it, and so do I. Thank you. May God bless these United States of America.
So what you see standing next to me now is a representation of what was the enforcement clause of the Emancipation Proclamation. These men and women had put on uniforms and walked out on these battlefields, given their lives in these various battles. Congress never would have passed the 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment, and the 15th Amendment. And so I'm happy to represent those 200,000 soldiers who joined, who went out on the battlefield. They gave their lives, they fought in battles. We're happy to pay tribute to President Abraham Lincoln. He's our president. He gave us a chance to fight for our freedom, and we joined up in large numbers. We gave our lives in higher numbers. We came home to enjoy the great bounty of those benefits of those amendments. You all know this, during the period of Reconstruction. And we had to fight for those rights all over again in the 1960s. Thank you very much on behalf of the Bureau of United States Colored Troops and the African American Civil War Museum. Congratulations to all of you. Thank God for the United States of America and for President Abraham Lincoln.
But this is one of the spirituals that was sung by Marian Henderson.
I'm trailed deep, trailed trying to make heaven my home. I've never been to heaven, but I've been told, trying to make heaven my home, that the streets up there are paved with gold, trying to make heaven my home.
When 50,000 people gathered here 100 years ago to dedicate this memorial, they heard speeches from an American president, from a former president, and from the head of a historically black land-grant college in Alabama, founded under a law signed by the man honored in this magnificent building, Abraham Lincoln. Yet, as we know, it was an imperfect dedication. For one thing, it was a segregated one. It would take Marian Anderson and Dr. Martin Luther King to right that wrong for this memorial and indeed for this nation. So here are the closing lines of Edwin Markham's poem, Lincoln, the man of the people. Up from the log cabin to the Capitol, one fire was on his spirit, one resolve, to send a keen axe to the root of wrong, clearing a free way for the feet of God, the eyes of conscience testing every stroke to make his deed the measure of a man. He built the rail pile as he built the state, pouring his spending strength through every blow. The grip that swung the axe in Illinois was on the pen that set a people free. He went down as when a lordly cedar green with boughs goes down with a great shout upon the hills and leaves a lonesome place against the sky.
47 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in the great Civil War, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves, is enshrined forever. Thank you.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, to thee we sing. Land where my fathers died,
Melanie LaForce, and thank you for watching.